in a jam down state. Yeah, Jamaican state of mind.
Wagwan people, this is Nick with Jamaican State of Mind podcast, and welcome to this episode. Episode will be solo today. Boy Carter make some big moves, so I couldn't depend on 1 year. And also, this episode gonna be the last one until around mid to late June. We're gonna take at least a little 30-day break. You know what I mean? Get some things. It might take a little detox from social media as well. You know what I mean? Just need a little break. Spend some focus on some other things, get some things situated out. But, in the meantime, we have a library of episode. This is we have around 25, I think, episode where you can go check out. Hopefully you'll check out the last one we did with Valencia, which was part 2 of Who Run the House. She came on with her perspective, you know what I mean? Well, some of it was surprising to me, but hey, that's her perspective, and and big up Val for come on it and thing. And also, big up Zim Zimmer. She messaged me after that episode. She was like, glad a woman on the IG, she's glad a woman finally bless it. But then I guess Valencia was opposite to what she was here. But anyway, big up herself, that's how it goes still, And everything everybody I got be agree on, and that's how podcasting go. But big up Zim Zimmer same way. She always support the thing, comment, and she definitely check it out. So respect. So on this episode here, just wanna honestly I wanna be real short, not gonna be too long. I try my best. Y'all know me can talk and me ramble for a long while. But anyway, just want to big up all of the people that have been supporting the podcast, been checking it out, been sharing it, liking it, comment. And don't forget the reviews. Sometimes I even myself I forget to check on the reviews that we do get. And I saw the last 2 that I want to just read out. Big up them people for definitely leaving a review. And don't forget, just if I listen to me on iTunes, on Apple Podcast, leave a review, leave a comment. It was very appreciated. 5-star. It does help us. And also, if I listen on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, iHeart, or wherever, just hit the follow button, as well. So you can get notification anytime we drop a podcast and thing. I know I cannot say we haven't lived up to the expectation. I know I promise this year we're going to try our best to pull out a lot more episode, and I think we did it so far. Y'all let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know what you think about that, But I just want to big up, to our listeners who left like a really good review here. And this was an Apple Podcast. And I also want to big up a Stacy318. She says, a Jamaican American, I love this podcast. It provides great Jamaican perspective on various topics. And one of the things about this podcast, I want to say, when we built it, when we started it, we are trying to figure out what the target audience would be, who we are targeting and all of that. And it's like, we never want to do like a music podcast, right? Where, we just focus on music. Although you don't know me, I have my long history with music and all of that. I have a various knowledge. And if you haven't been on a Regular Lover podcast already twice, with some other viewpoints, so go check them out. And, so you have podcasts like Regular Lover podcast, where them talk about reggae music, highlight some areas and stuff. That's a for them thing, them do that. You also have reggae talk, reggae music forever. I might do a thing right now, people check it out. Every Friday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, we go live on reggae music forever on IG. And sometimes some artists and things pass through and them have good conversations, so check them out. So like people like them that when me listen to and talk about the music and them thing there. And so any update me need, me listen to, me follow that and listen to them people there. So I say, reggae music forever, it does curate a couple good content where, where it highlight to me as well, But the point I try to say, this podcast, we wanted to make sure, say, all right, you know, we have to go to target my audience and everything, but at the same time, I didn't want to stop talking about one thing or one specific thing. So that's why I named it a Jamaican perspective and various different topic, because sometimes what happen as a Jamaican or even a Caribbean person, you get put in one bubble, you know. Like we all are the same, we all think the same, we all interested in all the same things. And with this podcast, show you that no, you know what I mean? We all different, and that's why we all can talk about any various different topic from our different perspectives. Some you may agree with, some you may not. And, you know, just wanted to highlight that. That's how we choose different stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? So far we talk about relationship, politics, talk about entertainment, talk about religion, science. You know what I mean? We talk about different various topics. You know what I mean? And we make sure it's stuff that we're genuinely definitely interested in as well. So yeah, I get our genuine take on it. You know what I mean? So when it's a comment like that, it definitely, you know, validates certain stuff. And also more big up girl with 2 kittens. So I guess she have 2 cats. She said she's a must tune in. 5-star and Apple, and she said, "Hey Nick, you have no idea how much I enjoy listening to your podcast. As a Jamaican living abroad, I'm always trying to find that connection to home, but with a perspective that spans the waters. Keep up the good work, man. Respect." And I mean, I respect to you too. You see what I say? And that's what it's about. And I mean, so, you know, we talk about different things. We don't just talk about the one of the 3 topics typically fall under the category where people expect us to talk about, you know what I mean? So appreciate them review there. And people, if you like the podcast, you like what you hear, hey, it goes a long way when you're able to if you can just give us a ratings and leave a review, you know what I mean? You can do it on even Facebook, and a Facebook page as well, Jamaican State of Mind. And like I said, follow us, subscribe, all of that good stuff, you know. And turn on the notifications so you can know when they drop. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's a big up to all of you that listen to them. You know what I mean? Worldwide. You know, we have a various that listen. Even at the Caribbean, big up all my Bayesian people, them. And I've been checking out the thing on a regular. I see when I creep up the numbers. I'll beat out Jamaica. You know what I mean? So big up to yourself. You know what I mean? Thanks for checking out the thing. You know what I mean? Really appreciate it. You know, all the people in Europe and them thing, the UK, France, Germany, even Sweden, big up on yourself, you know, for checking out, spending the time here. I don't know, big up all the people in America, yeah, the US, for checking it out, you know what I mean? Because, you know, without the listener, and without subscribing and sharing it, it wouldn't grow as what it is, you know what I mean? So continue support it, you know. And just want to big up also on a long time listening to them. You know what I mean? I remember when I first dropped the first episode, and when we call All My Son podcast, and we changed it to Jamaican State of Mind because, you know, that make more sense. But yo, big up on a long time listening to them. And fun fact before, named Crystal. I think she's in the Carolinas. Fun fact with Crystal is that me and I used to go primary school, and always a back in a class. There were the 2 smart kids them in the class, you know. Always a back for the first place, you know. I would say I beat her a couple of times. I don't know number 1 spot, but yeah. Well, big up yourself, because I remember first time I dropped it, she been, you know, one of the people that I know been supporting the thing from day 1 and continue to support it up to this day. You know what I mean? And for everybody else been checking out, you know what I mean? Also, big up, I am V Monroe. You know what I mean? She you know, I think she's in Panama. One of next person who've been checking out the podcast and them thing, they been supporting it. I think she started her own podcast. I think she did start her own podcast. Called the V Girl Podcast. You know what I mean? So go check her out. She also have a YouTube page. You know what I mean? She make one of them transitions. She live in New York and she goes to boom there Panama, and she talk about some of her journey on her YouTube page and how things are going there. So big up yourself, V. 'Cause, you know, as I support the thing, you know. And yeah, so our people them been supporting, man. You know, I've been repeating that, but because I just want to understand, we appreciate the support when I give the podcast. And there's one topic I want to discuss, not now, but later on. Man, Lori from current things at a Jamaican blog site. You know, she started it, and you know, them are going pretty well. And me and her here talk about this thing called, you know, support, where you get from like you know, people around. Cause with this podcast, the crazy thing is that strangers, people I don't know, support the podcast way more, and shared way more than actually people I know. Like I'll say at least family and people I consider friends. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People who I never met. You know, you have some people out of UK there, or Europe there, they have a podcast called What the Fuck Is Going On. You know what I mean? I always support the thing. And this podcast, I even, you know these people, and them have their own podcast where them talk about various different things. I think all of them are from Africa, as well. So, you know, so they might give them perspective, on different, topics as well. But it's like, these people who, I don't support the podcast way more than people I know. You know what I mean? Which, you know, you don't have to force somebody to support. You know, like I'm not gonna force nobody to support it. But at the same time, you know, it's telling. And it's a thing where I notice, like, you know, community. Not just say we just put a black community, but overall, especially in the Caribbean community, people don't support until you're successful, then they want to join on. No, the thing is, if you see somebody doing something, business, whatever it is, you know, a small support goes a long way, because it helps that person feel, you know, that's a valid, you don't need to say you need people to validate it, but you know, you do feel when you see people do, you know, support it, whatever you're doing, because that's the only way you grow. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you gotta go deep dive, because, you know, because one day I forgot the deep in that topic there, because it confused me as well. Because anybody around me know how to do something, support it to the fullest. You know what I mean? Even if I share it, if I business, I recommend them to people, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Obviously, I want to make sure I do it to the best standard possible. But the only way somebody are going to do something even to the best standard possible, unless they are, as a friend, family, I give them honest feedback. Hey, you know, you need to do this way, this, you know, stuff like that. But support the thing. That means I make sure I support people around me all the time. Even people that I don't know. If I see I do something and I like what you're doing, I definitely support it. Is that what I say? So maybe one of them days I go on a deep dive into the topic there a little more, you know, so we can dig down and see what's the root cause of it. You see, but your people is like, with this corona thing going on, right? And you know, we lost family member from it as well, right? And the thing is, I need people to just understand this. I don't care where you believe, this thing is a serious thing, right? Because to see, like, my wife lost 3 family members from it, right? My niece and nephew lost. My nephews lost their pops over it, right? And it's like, no matter where you believe, this thing is serious. And when I see people that do virtual funeral and them thing there, I mean, it's a man I like funeral and them thing there. I know nobody not like it, but I don't like the presence of it. I don't like being around. You know what I mean? But when you see even if you are done virtually with no connection, family have to stay apart, that was sad, man. So people have to understand, say, yo, this, no matter where you believe in, that this thing is a serious thing, right? And, you know, there was even a conversation, man, can't have a way I think, boy. One of the person, somebody will know, kind of one of them conspiracy person that we are going to say, we maybe have a conversation with them And Carter say, yo, don't do it to myself, because Carter know me. Him say, yo, that make your head hurt, yeah. But, you know, me enjoy a healthy debate. You know what I mean? I appreciate people who have different perspective in things. You know what I mean? And say so we can talk. But I do not like people who are close-minded. That's what term I have. So if you're close-minded and we cannot have a healthy debate, if I make a point about something and you cannot say that's a good point, I can't have a conversation with you. You know what I mean? But anyway, but the thing is, but you know, it's like after everything that happened and see what people post and them things, they're just like, you know what? I ain't gonna bother with it. Maybe later on I might change my mind, but I don't even think we want to entertain some of it, because some of it is just straight fuckery. And excuse the language, you know, because some of it is just basic common knowledge. Some of it is a basic common sense, which may always say common sense is not that common. You know what I mean? Because to have a soul mind and be objective and them thing there is not that common. A lot of people are not. And it's like people don't understand the type of world we're living in the sense that you have the internet is there, right? A lot of information. But not all of information is good information, right? So in this world and this time, you always have to be objective. You know, you consume information. So with all of these conspiracy about the coronavirus, to me, the only one would have said, you can ask questions. And you can ask valid questions. That's how I look at stuff. That's how I be objective of stuff. All right. If you're gonna say, or if somebody say, well, it come out on lab. All right. How did it come out on lab? Was it because CDC in America, they have all of the infectious diseases at some of them location, right? But they have protocol to protect people so it would not get loose. So one of the thing in China is that one of the lab is that, you know, they have loose restriction. So somehow, some way the virus kind of get out. Because when you test an animal, them supposed to cremate them. But I guess they didn't do that. And it caused that to come. If the conversation got be around stuff like that, all right, that's a good question. Did it start naturally in our wet market? Did it escape from a lab in China and cause this? That's a valid question. But when you're going to say 5G caused coronavirus, that's a fucker question. Because it's just two different things. One is frequency and wave, and one is actually virus. Two of them cannot intertwine. It does not make no sense. And I mean, and coronavirus is like, I already said, this is a family of virus. The common cold is considered a coronavirus. And if you understand even history, from the plague come all the way up to the Spanish flu, Zika, the swine flu, SARS, MERS, all of these diseases and a lot more come and gone because we're able to live with it. The flu used to still kill a lot of people, but it used to be devastating until some people naturally have immune to it. Them do the vaccine. That's another debate about vaccine we can have, but which we can have in another conversation. But the point I'm trying to say here is you cannot take everything you see off of the internet as facts. All right? And I don't think a lot of people understand how the internet works. Most websites work off clicks. The more clicks you get, the more money you make. So you have people with this outrageous headline. And when they read the body, they have nothing to do with the headline. But if you click on it, they make money. That's all they care about. You understand? Them just write some article where they cannot prove none of it. And they swallow it up. You watch a YouTube video with a man in a basement and show a PowerPoint. And I mean, listen, there's some position, right, where you don't need to go to school for. You don't need a college degree and all of them things. There's some. But there's some where you need some formal education for. And I'm gonna listen to somebody who spent 30 years and who have them PhD and who's a doctor in infectious disease than somebody who in an basement a point pan shit and I do YouTube video. None of them without no formal dedication for understand it. All of it is speculation and opinion. So if you can dissect that and be objective to that information, then we cannot have a conversation. You know what I mean? So with that said, so me just, before me even get too much into it, because me are going to it, but get across is that 5G frequency. Just go back in recent year. Remember when year 2000 was coming about? The Y2K bug and all of them things, everybody get crazy. Wow, we're at 2020 now. Alright, people was hysteria. I think the world are going. Alright? I remember when Wi-Fi came about. When they had Wi-Fi and router, was a big debate about health reasons and say it will kill people, all of that. We still, Wi-Fi been on for long now. Alright? When 4G came about, same thing. So 5G is an upgrade from 4G. It's more better speed, faster speed, more reliable. That's all it is. It's just a higher frequency. Alright. So if the conversation about that as well, that's what I say, have to be objective, right? Alright. Is that gonna be healthy for us? Is that gonna cause illness? Those are valid questions. Right? But that's different from saying 5G cause corona. That's just dumb. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna tolerate and be super word. If somebody posts that, I already put in a box and put in this stupid box over there. Cause that's telling me say, yo, either you lack of education, you lack of objectivity, or you're just plain stupid. Cause frequency, if you talk about frequency, right? If you're gonna say 5G may can cause something like say cancer, alright. No, that can make better sense because, alright, frequency, some frequency like microwave frequency, more cell and data use like a low band frequency, like microwave frequency, low band, right? That's what them send information, right? That frequency cannot break your skin or anything, right? Like the microwave you have in your house, that's a concentrated in a different type of high frequency that create heat. Kind of similar, the same name, but two different things. But the point I get at is that, alright, if you're going to say 5G may cause radiation, that's a valid question. And then somebody who is the expert in that field can answer that question. But me, I understand electronics. I have a degree in electronics and computer engineering. I had to learn about different frequency. I know, so me have a basic knowledge. I understand all frequency, where all it go. I mean, I work in the satellite industry for years where, you still have to understand that. I mean, we work closely with the even cell tower. Cell tower, it will tell you prolonged exposure can, if you're close to the cell tower, cause that's kind of concentrated, can cause some form of illness. You know what I mean? So those are valid questions, but one is not. But 5G can cause corona. Two different things. All right. If you Google just what the definition of coronavirus is, you can answer that question. But you have this thing where I talk about a lot of people suffer from, including myself, called confirmation bias, right? A lot of us suffer from it. And it's not the fault of our own, but it's just human nature. And let me just give you the layman term and the definition of it, right? Confirmation bias, the tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one existing belief and theory. All right? Let me read it again. The tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one existing beliefs and theories. All right? So that means a lot of us, if we believe something, like somebody will believe in the 5G thing and them see a video online where confirm their bias, even though there's nowhere to fact check that, even though the person talking garbage. But the point is, them just dismiss everything else. And that one line where the person may confirm their bias, they run with it. That's why I'm very careful whatever I post, whatever I consume. You know what I mean? If somebody send me something and I read it, I verify the website, verify the article. Because it's like where people understand in this world, you have false website. You have duplicate website that look like the real website will give false information. Like you have, like say CNN.com is it's legit, right? Then you have CNN.hi .com or .net, .co, .whatever, that enough people don't even notice that. And it look like the original site, but it give you wrong article, wrong information. Because there's a lot of money to be made. People in America, people around the world, China, all of them people, that's all them do. Spread misinformation. I run several websites. The amount of time I tell you, look, I have a good with WordPress. The amount of time these different country and different people try to hack in my thing, I get report. It's ridiculous. All right, and the same thing with them do on Facebook. The memes and the spread and the propaganda spread. Even I forgot when you had this thing that came out. China, Canada, paid with the stimulus package. Canada did a stimulus package with pay them everybody and every citizen such and such money and some stuff. And then it's like, what happened? Everybody reposted. Even notable people repost it, right? Come to find out, if you do a proper search, if you look at even the website, FAR's website, right, where that information came from, and also if you do a proper search with the Canadian government, they never did nothing. But it's just that people do stuff like that, put out that information, whosoever that person is, just to get the traffic to their website, to get the traffic to something go viral. All right? And it's like you have to be careful. I remember this, Jimmy Kimmel did this thing, right? Where everybody, when they're twerking, he get crazy. And he had this girl who was twerking upside down. And somebody opened the door, push her, knock her, and knock the something over fire and catch a fire. That thing went viral. All the news organizations pick it up and everything. And I think a month or a couple months later, Jimmy Kimmel came and showed the full length of the video, like they planned it, but they just showed that snippet of that 15 seconds, and that 15 seconds went viral, right? And it was the point they showed that things can easily get viral and people believe it's true, but they didn't see that, and they just showed that this was just a prank they set up for it to go viral, and everybody run with it. So what I'm trying to say, you have to be very objective with information. Again, research and verify. All right, and just to end it right there, if anybody ever come to me about 5G cause Corona, I tell you right now, I look upon you like you're stupid. And it's not nothing for me, I be little nobody, but the same time, I cannot entertain them shit. I put in a CM box where people say the earth flat earthers or whatever. It just alright, let me stop, because I'm gonna go on and on about it. But you know, is that we have to be careful of what we consume, people, especially in a time like this. You know what I mean? Because a lot of misinformation, a lot of propaganda is out there, and you just gotta be careful. All right, just use, I hate to say it, common sense. All right, just please, you cannot follow somebody who only make money off a conspiracy theory. Them job, they get up every day and preach it. You cannot follow those people, because, you know what I mean, not to say some stuff they may bring up valid, but you have to just see the obvious BS. You see what I say? And don't contribute, because that's all the only way they make money. And when people like those, the only way they make money, they have to be more outrageous and sound like them makes sense. Seem like this man a doctor and just up in a doctor suit, talk about it like him and know. And you Google and find out, say, man is no doctor, no. Man not even go college. You understand? Be careful how you consume, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't really go on and on about that. And some of them stuff, like I said, might go deep dive a little more into these stuff later on. When I'm in Carter can depend on it, have him input on it and stuff. Because he might see things different than I. So you never know. And like I said, you know, in this time, people just also, people who like to post, make sure to use this time and start a business. Make sure you use this time to validate this or discover yourself. All of this foolishness. Like, come on. Like, I understand not everybody have the opportunity to start a business. Not everybody meant to start a business. All right? And also, people have family. People have kids. Kids are out of school. Everybody have the time to do all of these luxury thing or these other thing. And sometimes people, it's okay not to do nothing. It's okay if you sit at home, watch TV, catch up on your Netflix, eat some ice cream, and not to do it. That's okay too. Don't make nobody feel like you're left out or you're not doing nothing productive. You know what I mean? So, don't make nobody force you into nothing. And the last thing I want to cover before I end this podcast is that one of the big debate right now is that the state open up in the economy, right? It open up now because they want people to get back to work and all of that stuff. I'm in the middle with this, right? Because people have to understand this thing is serious. A lot of people dying from it. But at the same time, a lot of people are not making money. And not everybody have the luxury of not working. All right? Because like 30 million people or something like that. Over 30 million people file for unemployment. Now that's still overwhelmed. And the system is just not ready for this. So you have people who wait over 30 days, 60 days, even file, even get laid off or get fired, file for employment, not get no money. Supposing people, most people don't have savings, right? Most people live check to check. Supposing people never have no savings or anything, what would happen? So it's like, I'm in that for like, I see what the government do, but at the same time, you have to understand that there's people who are not making any money right now. Nothing coming in. They're struggling. Because them, one, the government not help them. Two, them not getting unemployment. Some people just want to go back to work. And you have to understand, most people like to feel productive. Now we have some lazy one out there, and we're not going to acknowledge them, but most people like to feel productive. Most people like to feel like they're contributing to society. Because that's so, that's so we are. You have some people, them not feeling weird. You have people who get suicidal. You have people get abusive. There's a domestic violence and suicide rate went up like crazy. So, is one of them things I've looked at, but at the same time I've looked, alright, most states have not reached the peak yet, like especially Georgia. From them open up the state the other day, them say peak by 40% infection rate went up. So it's like one of them things, the boy, I don't know, but something has to be done in the sense that people are get as irritated right now, and so. I'm in the middle. I don't know. You know what I mean? And also, before we get, a lot of things go up on social media, the Babylon, them a treat black people versus white people with this thing where they might enforce and abuse some of us black people when it come to enforcing this social distancing law while them, it's in a new year, them hang out, them are handing mass out to all the people up there, all the white people, and say it's like, and I even want to get into this here, but I'm just saying people have to understand, like, in my views with this, the system always gonna be have it racist way, colorism, prejudice, all of them things that gonna exist. I don't think it will ever go away, and that's why. With me, I always preach accountability, right? For us. Meaning, we have to hold each other. And when I mean each other, black people, the black community, all of that, at a higher level. Meaning, we have to make sure our community look good. We have to take care of people in our community. And even stop killing off ourselves. Some respect for each other. Because if you don't respect yourself, nobody not going to respect you. And we're free to have that conversation amongst ourselves. Because accountability is important. And I say even the last couple of podcasts we did, with cancer culture and who run the house and them things, there's like, we understand all of the systematic stuff that will exist. You know what I mean? But at the same time, what we are gonna do for ourselves. You know what I mean? It's like the last episode and one of the conversation back and forth was we talk about who run the house, and I was saying, we didn't, one of the posts was saying we didn't explain the oppression and the government mess up the black soul and slavery and all of the trauma that comes from all of that, which is all correct. But it's going to reach a point where you have to hold yourself accountable and make that change. Because if not, it's just going to continue. It's just going to continue. So you have to make the change within yourself, within your community, in order to be better. All of them things are still there. But if we treat each other with no respect, and we not hold each other accountable, we not keep our community up. Like I think I discussed already in an episode where I used to live in the Bronx, and Bronx was depressing. If anybody come to the Bronx, I got respect for you for where you carry yourself and carry your community. And you have to understand, as harsh that sound, that's how people view you. And the thing is, we don't want to have that conversation. You understand? Because, people judge by what them see. People not judge by what them hear. I mean, it's like if a dress, I would even put this kind of, and anybody can feel it. Whenever me dress up, right, in a suit, tie, and I go and I do business, people talk to me different, people deal with me different. It's sir, yes sir. It doesn't matter what race them from. It doesn't matter. People deal with me different. If me just dress regular and look raga, but they are treated just like we are dressed. It's unfortunate, but that's just how life is. So we have to accept that as a community. That's life sucks. What we are gonna do about it? You understand? That doesn't justify what happened and all them, because them people are state people, so they're supposed to treat you with respect. You understand? But that's been going on for many years now. So we have to take care of our own and treat each other with respect, hold each other to a high standard. All the leaders of a community at high standard, to make a mockery. You know what I mean? So until we do that, until we respect where we live, where we treat each other, where we dress, and where we carry ourselves, you cannot expect somebody else to. Alright? And unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. So until we have that conversation, people are going to treat you the way you treat. And that doesn't justify none of it. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't justify. But I'm a person, I always try to focus on the controllable, what I can control at the time. And you try to control that. Alright? So people, let me know what you think. I mean, as I said, we'll be back in, it's going to be the last episode until mid-June or so. Come back, drop some more content. In the meantime, go listen to the library of episode that we have. Remember, please leave a comment. Subscribe on each platform. Subscribe, follow. And wherever you can find podcasts, go to Jamaicanstateofmind.com. If you look, you see those little icon right there, you click. So if you have an Android phone, you have the Google icon. You have an Apple phone, you have the Apple icon. You have Spotify. All of these areas where you can listen to the podcast and you can share it from there as well. All right. So until then, follow us on our social media site. We have Jamaican State of Mind Pod on IG, JA State of Mind on Twitter, and Jamaican State of Mind on the Facebook. Just look it up. And also, you can email us at JamaicanStateOfMind@gmail.com. If you wanna, if you have any comment, suggestion, hey, we always welcome feedback. So until next time, people, stay safe and blessed.
Yeah, Jamaican State of Mind.